Fellow film fans, what up? It's your boy Tay Talks Talkies and Let's Talk Film, episode 7 of The White Lotus. Let's talk about it. So, right off the bat, let's just say nothing too crazy happened in this episode either, which means indefinitely, episode 8 will be insane. Every season so far, season 1, we saw Armand die. Season 2, we saw Tanya die. So, it only feels right that we're going to see someone die, and I think we know that someone does die in the very first scene of the first episode. We see a body floating by that Belinda's son sees. So the real mystery of it all is who's shooting and who's floating by, and does anyone else die? So with that in mind, we know Chelsea said bad things happen in threes. She was there for the robbery. She was bitten by the snake, and now it only feels appropriate that Aleksei, the guy with the snake tattoo, the Russian guy that stole the bracelet, it only feels serendipitous that he's the one that kills Chelsea, which leads me to believe that the shooting going on is something with Gaitok, because Gaitok at the Muay Thai fight saw that the Russians were there and they're friends with Valentin, so it only makes sense to me that Gaitok, in an effort to try to prove that he's not soft, because we see a theme here with Gaitok feeling like he's not strong enough of a man, he can't do what needs to be done, Mook even telling him it's natural to fight. So it only feels right that Gaitok is going to be involved with a shootout with probably Aleksei and maybe the other Russian guys. And maybe Chelsea accidentally gets shot by Aleksei. It makes sense. The snake bracelet was stolen in the robbery where she felt like she almost got killed. Then she gets bit by the snake, and now he's going to get shot by the guy with the snake tattoo. We see Rick finally confronting the old man, and it's a weird scene. It feels like it didn't go the way that Rick envisioned it going. It feels like something else is going on. So when he brings up his mother's name, Gloria Hatchet, the old man has this weird reaction. You could take it as him saying, "Who's Gloria Hatchet?" But it seemed more like he was saying, "Gloria Hatchet?" Like he knows who she is. I have this weird theory, and this is almost like a Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader thing going on, that old man is Rick's dad. Maybe he just left the family when he was young, and the mother, to protect Rick and his idea of his father, she just lied and said your father was a great man. He went to go try to do good things in Thailand, and he was killed by this old guy, because he never mentions his father's name. And it just feels really bizarre how it all went down. So I feel pretty strongly that this old guy is Rick's dad. We see Frank losing his sobriety. He's partying with women. He's doing drugs. And it's feeling like something terrible is going to happen in Bangkok between these two guys. I think Frank being with his old buddy, it brings old feelings back into the mix. And he was doing so great with his sobriety and his Buddhism. But now he's off the rails, and it feels like something tragic is going to happen with him, and hopefully not, but with Rick as well. We see Locke and Piper at the Buddhist temple, and Locke tells Piper he actually wants to stay with Piper, and she has this really weird reaction. She's not happy. And I think it's probably something to do with this was her thing. She was the one that was going to become the Buddhist and go to the Buddhist temple. And her ego is being stepped on by Locke saying, I want to do it too. She's like, this is my thing. So even in an effort to try to forego the ego, we see Piper having ego with something as ridiculous as she needs to be the Buddhist, not her brother. So I'm curious what's going on with that, but that feels like what's happening there. Then we see Tim Ratliff, and this man needs to be stopped. He's literally about to Chris Benoit his whole family. He's looking for the gun. He's going to kill his wife and Saxon because they both essentially tell him that they can't live if something's going on with the wealth or the company. And he is so out of his mind between all the drugs and the alcohol that he actually thinks killing his family is the best solution here. So he needs to be stopped. And good thing Gaitok took the gun back, because things were about to get messy. We see Greg/Gary confront Belinda and offer her $100,000, and the way he words it, he's trying to say he's innocent, but it's so clear that he's bribing her, and she knows it, and she's a good person, so she's like, no, we got to get out of here. To her son. Her son's funny. He's like trying to eat, and she's like, gotta get the hell out of here. And it just feels like something really intense is going to happen. There's a big theme with the Muay Thai fights and showing a battle between Belinda and Greg/Gary, and there was another battle going on right around the same time with Rick and the old man. And there's a lot of conflict going on in this season, and the question is, who is going to come out on top? And there's a theme with threes. So Chelsea said bad things happen in threes. We see the 3 Russians. We see the 3 Gossip Girls, Jacqueline, Lori, and Kate. We see Locke, Saxon, and Chloe. And there's this theme of bad things happening in threes, even with the characters themselves. And it feels like those Gossip Girls are self-destructing, self-imploding. They will not come out as friends, it feels like, because all of the truth is coming out. Laurie's telling them what she really thinks of them, and Jacqueline's showing her true colors, pretending she's the victim, even though she was completely in the wrong. She cheated on her man. She hooked up with the guy that Laurie wanted to hook up with just to power play Laurie, and then she has the audacity to pretend that she's the victim, and it's the most annoying character. That type of character, that type of person is the most annoying person ever. And yeah, I hate Jacqueline. I can't echo that enough. We see Laurie hook up with Aleksei, and he's trying to tell her this sob story about his mother and a visa, and he needs $10,000. I mean, the guy's a complete scumbag. These Russian dudes are complete dirtbags. And she gets out of there, but she gets in a taxi, and we don't see what happens to her after, so hopefully everything's okay with her. I think it would be great if Tim finally comes clean with his family in episode 8, finally tells them what's going on, and all 5 of them stay in Thailand and become Buddhists. I think that would be awesome. And we keep seeing a weird dynamic between Chelsea and Saxon. It's almost like there's something there, but maybe Chelsea's in denial. She really thinks she loves Rick, but I think something might happen in episode 8 that makes her realize that she was wrong. Or maybe Saxon's the wrong one. Maybe he's just so cynical about what it means to love somebody. We see that with Mrs. Ratliff as well, when she's talking to that young girl who's most likely with that older guy for money, but she's like, how can you ask me that? I actually love this guy. And she's like, okay, so maybe there's a theme there with them finding out you can love somebody even though they don't seem like they're super compatible from the outside. But yeah, that's basically everything that went down in episode 7. Episode 8 is about to be insane. I'm super excited about this finale. I think this season is shaped out to be a pretty good one. It's a slow burn season. It has more episodes to work with than the previous 2. And I think the character development, the way that they are methodically and cautiously building up tension with the characters for this final crazy event of episode 8. I think that there's going to be a lot of wild stuff going on, and I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think is going to happen in episode 8? Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. I promise to keep rolling out great content for you guys. Like, comment, let me know what you think, and as always, stay tuned for the next episode. Tay out.